Arsenal played Bayern Leverkusen today in the first leg of their matchup in the round of 16. It ended in 1-1. There's going to be a few things to recap. This is going to be from more of an Arsenal perspective, as I am an Arsenal fan. I'll still talk about Leverkusen, of course, but this is going to be mainly about Arsenal. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This game was rough. And this is something that's been almost, I guess I'm trying to think of the right word, bubbling the last couple games. Like, this team hasn't really been playing in an attractive brand of football, but they've been getting the results. But that really was not even the case today. It was an attractive football, and you really weren't even going to get a result until you get the penalty, which we'll talk about later. But it just was really, really ugly. I felt like the team, I don't know, especially the attack. The attack just did not look up for it. I thought the defense overall was pretty solid just because they've been like that all year, and that's kind of the standard, so that's what I expected. But I just did not see really much at all from most of our forward players, really until the end, until substitutions were made. And just overall, again, I was disappointed. I expected a little bit more out of Arsenal. Maybe some of the competitions are catching up with them. We'll see how they do in the second leg, of course, and it's at the Emirates, but still, I just expected a little bit more today. Specifically, Bukayo Saka and Martinelli, they really, really disappointed me today. They really did. And specifically Saka, just because we all know how much better Saka is than Martinelli. Okay, Martinelli has a bad game. It's going to happen, every couple games. Saka, it's been a little bit more of the standard this year. He still had some good moments, and I think he has been a good player for us, but there have been times where he's been underwhelming, and today I just felt like he was extremely underwhelming. It was really just the same old, just trying to go on the right, same move. Nothing was coming from it, and he actually got pulled off, I think, 60-something minute. I don't know. That's when Madueke was put on, and rightfully so. I just felt like he was providing nothing today, and it's just disappointing to see because we all know how good this kid is. And yes, he has made some plays recently, but I don't know, man. He hasn't been the exact same guy that you want him to be, and it's just been a little disappointing to see. Martinelli, it is what it is. Again, it's expected. I need Arsenal to either minimum keep this guy on the bench or they have to get better at left wing. Trossard, I thought, was our solution, but he has really, really cooled off since about a month ago-ish. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but I'm a little worried with how specifically our left wing is looking, just because it is so bleak right now at the position, and there's really no other solution. I mean, maybe you put Eze there, but I kind of like Eze at the 10, so Arsenal are in a tough position there, but we got to move and just see how it goes moving forward. Not much happened, but then the second half, of course, starts with a corner from Bayern Leverkusen. A guy is unmarked, and he scores. Arsenal, they just didn't mark him, but kind of funny that, they concede at their own game. Obviously, they're, set piece FC, all that jazz, but they let up a goal, and at that point, I wasn't feeling the best, just because it's like, okay, we're on the road. It is the first leg. Like, it's not the worst situation, but like, come on, guys. Like, I just expected a better performance from Arsenal today, and I really was a little bit more worried than I would have liked to say I was after that first goal from Leverkusen, just because, again, Leverkusen, look, they don't play the best domestically. I mean, they're sixth in the league, but they're very, very good defensively, and especially when they're at home, they're very, very good as well in the UCL. And I just was like, wow, this is a recipe for disaster. Arsenal aren't scoring. You're already down now 1-0. Like, this thing better not get ugly. Thank God it didn't. But I wanted to give credit to Leverkusen for beating us at our own game and beating us on a set piece, because, again, that's football at this time, and they just out-executed us on that play. Also, another credit to Leverkusen. Again, I said they're very, very good defensively, specifically in the UCL, but man, that low block was a pain. It was a pain. I mean, Arsenal really couldn't break it down at all. It didn't matter how many times they tried to cross the ball, how many times they tried to get something out of open play. Like, it was just really, really good stuff from Leverkusen. Really, really liked what I saw from them. Again, I only really watched them in the Champions League. I'm just going to be 100% honest, but still, I was very impressed by just their formation, how disciplined they were. Yes, they had occasional yellows here and there, and except for, the end. But overall, I just thought defensively, strictly from an open play standpoint, they were very, very disciplined. I wanted to give them a ton of credit. This game changed, though, when Bukayo Saka was subbed off for Madueke. Madueke, in my opinion, was the man of the match. And also Kai Havertz eventually comes on. Jesus comes on super, super late. Really wasn't a factor, but Havertz and Madueke were the guys that got us through today. And Madueke, he was creating a lot of chaos down near the box, and then, in my opinion, it was a penalty. Some people are saying it's a soft penalty. I don't necessarily disagree with that take, but there was clear contact, so I really don't hate it. Again, I know it's my team, but still, I try to be objective here. I was not mad about it in the moment. So I thought it was a pen. He draws a pen. The only thing Arsenal have really done good that entire day. And then, of course, Kai Havertz against his former club. He scores a penalty, and that was just good to see. Number one, again, I love that Madueke is just creating that chaos. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we have not been getting that much from Saka, so to see that from someone else and someone stepping up in this type of game, you really needed that in that moment. And then, of course, for Havertz, a guy that's been dealing with injuries really the last year, someone that has not been able to be consistently on the pitch, to do that against his former club, to get a penalty, to make it deadlock, 1-1 going into the Emirates in the second leg. It just felt good as a fan, and I felt good for him as a human being. That had to mean a lot to him, and it was just good seeing him perform. That's really all I had in this game. There just was not much else to break down. It was pretty boring in my opinion. Kind of glad that they put it at the earlier game, because if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, this probably would have been lost in the sauce based on all the other stuff that went on today. I mean, every other game, in my opinion, today was more exciting than this. So that's really all I had, though. Arsenal, I'm going to need a better performance in the second leg. I still think that they will get through, but my God, just please look better. Please look better. I mean, I care about the result at the end of the day, but please look better. But yeah, that's all I had in this video. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. Drop your thoughts on the game down below. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe. My TikTok will be in the description down below as well. If you made this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.